Oh, hello there. Welcome to the cozy library. My name's Bryoni. How may I help you? Okay, well, we do have quite a lot of books, as you can see. Depends what you're looking for, really. We've got romance just over there. Got thrillers, mysteries together. Sci-fi just there. There's children's, and you can see the audios and things over there. Okay, you're not really sure what you're looking for. No problem. Well, you can stay here for as long as you like. You can have a little look around, sit and do some reading if you like. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 8 books here that I'm currently just sorting, rearranging and putting back. If you wanted, I could just go through them with you. Okay, sure. Well, just make yourself comfortable, okay? So, the first book that I've actually got here, which I'd like to show you, is one of my favourites, an absolute classic. You might have seen the film, but the book is just as good and really, really well written. So this is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So it's all about dinosaurs. An astonishing technique for recovering and cloning dinosaur DNA has been discovered. Now one of mankind's most thrilling fantasies has come true. Creatures extinct for eons now roam Jurassic Park with their awesome presence and profound mystery, and all the world can visit them for a price. Until something goes wrong. In Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton taps all his mesmerizing talent and scientific brilliance to create his most electrifying techno-thriller yet. This is a really old classic copy. This is good. 1990. What do you think about this book? Okay, well, they'll all be here anyway if you did want them, and you can always come back and take whichever ones you like. Next, I've got a different kind of book to show you. This is actually a domestic thriller, I would say. And it's by Frida McFadden. This is The Teacher. If you've seen A Housemaid or read The Housemaid, it's by the same author. I haven't read this one yet. This one is actually on my TBR I would like to read this one, but I've read numerous ones by Frida McFadden, and I can say they're pretty good. Let's go here. Lesson #1. Trust no one. Eve has a good life. She gets up each day, gets a kiss from her husband, and heads off to teach math at the local high school. All is as it should be. Except, last year, Wholesome High was rocked by a scandal involving a student-teacher affair with one student, Addie, at its centre. But Eve knows there is far more to these ugly rumours than meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies, she hurts people, she destroys lives. At least, that's what everybody says. But nobody knows the real Addie. Nobody knows the secrets that could destroy her if people at the school found out. And when Eve discovers the shocking truth, Addie will do anything to keep her quiet. It's a story of twists and secrets and long-awaited revenge. This is the teacher. Again, I'll pop this one here. It's a different kind of book, a different genre, but it might be something you're interested in. It's good to have a selection to look at. Sometimes you're wanting a book, but you just don't know which book, you don't know which genre, so it's always good to have a look at a wide selection. The next book is actually one that I've started reading, but I haven't quite finished. I do actually have my own copy of this one, and it might be something you're interested in. It's by Claire Pooley, which, very good author. If you've read The Authenticity Project, it's by the same author. And this is The People on Platform 5. Nobody speaks to strangers on the train. What would happen if they did? Every day at 8:05, Iona Iverson boards the train to go to work. As a seasoned commuter, there are rules to follow. You must have a job to go to, don't consume hot food, never speak to strangers on the train. Iona sees the same group of people each day, people she makes assumptions about and gives nicknames to, but never ever talks to. Then, one morning, smart but sexiest Surbiton chokes on a grape right in front of Iona. Too good to be true, New Malden saves his life. And this one event sparks a chain reaction. With nothing in common but their commute, an electric group of people learn that their assumptions about one another don't match reality. But when Iona's life begins to fall apart, will her new friends be there when she needs them most? This is quite a big book, I'd say. It's 370 pages. If you're interested in trains, commuting, that kind of vibe, this might be something for you. Claire Pooley's books are usually quite wholesome, so you might find a bit of that in this one. Again, I will leave this one just there for you. Next up, I've picked here, which is actually a quick read. These can usually be read within 2 hours, depending on how quick you are. You might read it in 45 minutes, but they are designed to be quick reads. They're good for people who want to read books but struggle to get into books. The stories, they just come straight away. It just dives literally straight into the story. And the font is nice and big, and they usually, this is 118 pages, and obviously with big texts, that's not much at all. But these are generally good for people who want to get into reading, want to finish a story, want to finish a book. These are just absolutely perfect, and they genuinely have really good stories. So this is Cell 1, The Wages of Sin, Death, by Leigh Adinley, I think. And they're by the Quick Reading Agency. Quick Reads Reading Agency. This is Cell 1. A high-profile kidnapping, a countdown to a live execution. The race is on to find the victim before the clock hits 0. Rookie cop Bobby Fatukun's first day on the job is off to a bad start. Not only has his life in London not prepared him for the hustle of the Nigerian city of Lagos, but his new boss seems to be missing. When a popular blog is hacked, the horrifying truth becomes clear. Superintendent Adams has been kidnapped, and his captors plan to kill him live on camera in a matter of hours. As chaos unfolds and the team scrambles for leads, Bobby begins to suspect that Adams' actions may have had something to do with his abduction. But without knowing who he can trust, Bobby will have to rely on his instincts to find the truth before time runs out. So this is a detective mystery thriller, maybe a little bit scary, maybe a little bit of horror, but it definitely sounds gripping, interesting, and if you're into like detective, police work, mysteries, this one is probably for you. And like I said, it's a quick read. You could probably even read it here in the library, depending on how long you wanted to stay. But there's loads, so if you do like these kind of books, I think you will like this. I believe this one is actually new. I think it's new out to the library. I think it was out a couple of months ago. And there's also a few others which we have, which is Hunger Pains, The Woman Next Door, which is very, very good. I've read that one and it's amazing. But yeah, if this is something you think you're interested in, I highly recommend it. Again, I'll put that one just there for you. Next, we've got some new books into the library. So these are just new in that the library's received. It's not necessarily new books, but just new ones that the Library of Gold. So the first one is this book, which I actually really want to read. I've had my eye on it. We've got a couple of them in, so I might just take one myself. This gives me Death in Paradise vibes. If you've ever seen it, it gives me that. And it's Praise for Sun Murder, and this is called Beach Breeze Bloodshed. And if you just look at it, it almost just screams like Death in Paradise vibes. So it looks like there's a murder on a beach. back. After barely surviving the first criminal investigation and living memory on the sun-drenched British Virgin Island of Anegada, Constable Teddy Creek has spent the past 6 months trying to weather the aftermath and move on with his life. Now with a promotion and a Medal of Honor, he's newly committed to the job. So when a young woman dies in a shark attack off the coast of a neighbouring island, Virgin Gorda, Teddy is happy to help when Deputy Commissioner Howard Lane orders him to capture the man-eater. But when Teddy arrives on Virgin Gorda, he begins to suspect there was human foul play involved too. After all, the sharks around the idyllic island aren't known for attacking humans, and there are some oddities at the scene. Unfortunately, while Teddy is convinced that the woman's death was accidental, not everyone on the island takes kindly to his meddling, and he's forced to be creative in his pursuit of justice. In unfamiliar territory and with his sole witness, a silent child who communicates in unorthodox ways, Teddy must earn the trust of the reserved residents on the touristy island, tangle with a parrot, and follow the clues that might lead him directly into the path of a killer. So this is a mystery on a beach with a detective, and it must seem like a shark attack, but there are suspicions around it. So I definitely get the vibe that this book is going to be almost like an episode of Death in Paradise. I might be completely wrong, but that's just what I envision. Yeah, if you're interested in a detective, thriller, summary book, this is the one for you. Next up, we've got The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. Love blossoms in the most unexpected ways. So this is a romance book. So again, something different for you. It's a summer romance book, I'd say. We keep this in our summer section. You may have seen the other versions of these books. There's the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, the Cinnamon Bun Store book, the Christmas Tree Farm, the Gingerbread Bakery, and they usually are brought out at the different seasons of the year. So I imagine, I haven't read the others, but I think they're love stories in those particular seasons. So if you're interested in a nice, light-hearted romancy book, this one's probably for you. As a world-renowned chef, single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake house. But Dream Harbour needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter. Iris has never managed to hold down a job, so when it's suggested that Archer is looking for a live-in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless. Keeping everything strictly professional should be easy, right? So yeah, this is definitely a romance book, and I think it will be quite wholesome actually. I have seen these everywhere, these kind of books from this author, so they must be good, right? But yeah, if you're interested in a summer read, summer romance, I think this will be perfect for you. Next up is a book that I think is quite wholesome and cute. It's this one, and it's called Call of the Penguins. I don't know, it just seems really wholesome. It's a summer book. Granny McCready can't resist the promise of adventure. And there's Granny with a penguin. Meet the heroine everyone's talking about. Fiercely resilient and impeccably dressed, Veronica McCready has lived an incredible 87 years, most of them alone in her huge house by the sea. But Veronica has recently discovered a light life love for family and friends, adventure and wildlife. More specifically, a love for penguins. And so when she's invited to co-present a wildlife documentary far away in the southern hemisphere, she jumps at the chance, even though it will put her in the spotlight, just when she thought she would soon fade into the wings. Perhaps it's never too late to shine. I just think there's something so cute and wholesome about this book. I haven't read it yet, but it is quite a big book. But I just think it seems really cute with the Granny McCready, the love for penguins. And I just think it might be a nice, light-hearted, wholesome, uplifting book. If this is something that you're interested in. And finally, the last book that I've got to show you for now is a horror, because we need a horror in here. We need a proper, strong horror. And what better way than to show you Stephen King. This is The Shining. I think this is one of the scariest books. I haven't actually read it yet. I get scared when reading horrors, but I would really like to. I feel like you could handle it though. Yeah, you can handle this one. I would really love to get into Stephen King books, especially the proper horror ones. I read a couple. They weren't too bad, but I have started some and they're just so super scary. I just couldn't read them. But this is The Shining. There is, of course, like Cujo, Doctor Sleep, Salem's Lot. I think Cujo is also scary. This is a chilling classic from the #1 bestseller. Danny is only 5 years old, but in the words of old Mr. Halloran, he is a shiner, aglow with psychic voltage. When his father becomes caretaker of the Overlook Hotel, Danny's visions grow out of control. But as winter closes in and the blizzards cut them off, the empty hotel seems to develop a life of its own. Why are masked guests riding in the elevator? And who is the lady in room 217? Somewhere, somehow, there is an evil force in the hotel, and that too is beginning to shine. So of course this is a classic Stephen King book, The Shining. I'm sure you've heard of it. You might have seen it. I think it's the movie as well. But if you haven't read the book, does this make you want to read it? Well, I will leave it here for you, but I feel like I've shown you quite a few different ones today. Possibly ones from different areas, I'll recap them all very quickly for you. I'll leave them here. Should you want to, you can come back and take them. But you're welcome to have a look around the rest of the library. So this is the horror The Shining by Stephen King. There's this wholesome, light-hearted summer book, Call of the Penguins by Hazel Pryor. The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. A Murder Mystery. Beach Breeze Bloodshed by John Casey Walker. A thriller horror mystery, Cell 1 by Lee Hadeno. This is The People on Platform 5 by Claire Pooley. These books are usually quite wholesome and sort of community based. They bring everybody together. These are usually psychological thrillers or domestic thrillers. This is The Teacher by Frida McFadden. And finally, we have my favourite, a classic. And this is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So I hope you enjoyed looking at these books with me. Do let me know if there's any of them that you would like, any of them that you read. But now you can just take some time, wander around the place. It's so cozy, so warm. Feel free to take a seat, do some reading if you'd like. But I'm always here if you need me. No problem, thank you. And just come back if you need me.